Hi everyone, Catherine here from Inky Finger Cat. Back with part 3 of Tidying the Craft Room, and this time I decided to tackle some of the shelves on the bookshelf. Once again, apologies for my appearance, I'm in my PJs, I'd finished work for the day and went and got myself into my comfies and then decided to tackle this job. Hair's all over the place, you know what, don't care. So I started sorting things just by moving things around, which is not sorting things at all, and then started delving into boxes. So these are boxes of some alpha stamps, which, to be honest, don't use, rarely use, so getting rid of them. They've gone into the got rid of box, and then the ones that were all loose have just gone in the bin because the reality is I don't think there's even a full set. And then out of the other box, all I've kept is those clarity stamp ones because I do use those occasionally. Okay, other things that I'm sorting. Well, I'm just putting things back into random boxes. I know what's in most of the boxes in this bookcase, so most of it doesn't need to be sorted. But what does need to be sorted is things like those random pouches and folders, and I do end up getting rid of quite a few bits and pieces off those, and things that have just been plonked on top of boxes. They're the things that do need sorting. So I am just going through them, clearing them. Found that lovely card that my lovely friend Valerie had made. So I've put that back on display because it was hidden and it's nice to look at things. I do like to switch out the artwork that I've got on display on my desk for inspiration. I decided all my embossing powders were in quite a large box, so I've decided to condense them and put them in one of those small boxes. And the sanding blocks have gone into my tool caddy, so that's what I was doing there. So again, it's just a case of where do I want everything? I will admit I did just tip that box upside down and a whole load of glitter came out and went all over the floor. I do need to hoover, but I can't be bothered tonight. It's not happening. So up on the top shelf has got all of my plain cardstocks, like white cardstock, etc. So I'm just deciding that I'm going to put that in a different place. I keep it in the magazine file on its side just because it's easy to just grab and go. So I took some stuff out of packaging. There are some bits that were in pouches. They can stay in pouches and I'll just work my way through them. But then I'd also got this random white, which I think was Stampin' Up white cardstock. I don't know if it was Whisper White or their new white, I can't remember. Same for the black. I've just plopped them all into the same thing together because I don't need them to be in those separate plastic wallets. They were like kind of a hard case wallet. Don't need them to be in those. So I'm now going through that massive pile of pouches, which includes a whole load of stuff. Like at one point I was going to open an Etsy shop and have like various digital images and stuff like that. Yeah, never happened. So they've gone off to the side. And then I've got some bits of paper that, to be honest, need to go in that concertina file, which is all my coloured bits of pattern paper that are scraps that I will use when I want to do a monochrome scrapbooking page or some cards or something. I've got an entire pouch full of doilies, never really used doilies, so they've gone in the to be got rid of pile, and then the ones that were a bit rough looking, I've just popped in the bin. What else did I have? I did have some of these pouches that I didn't empty out at all. They'd got either specialist paper in them. There was that using up my magazine kit. I've got my sticker books of sentiments and things that are already pre-die cut, etc. So all of those have gone back on the shelves as were, but I think I ended up emptying either 3 or 4 pouches in total, so I was quite pleased with that. And obviously those hard shell cases, so that's given me a little bit more space on the shelves. There was a couple of boxes of stuff there that I absolutely would just be keeping as I was, and there was some things that I've gone into the cupboard in the corner. The cupboard in the corner is one that I can't get into easily, but it's really helpful for things that I do want to keep, but I know I'm not going to access that frequently. And now it's just a case of shuffling things around again. So I was trying to put all my scrapbooking stuff together. It didn't quite work out. But I managed to do a few bits and pieces. And there were some things like all those were all the watercolour paintings that we did in 2020 during lockdown, when we used to do a watercolour class on a Sunday online, and all 3 of us would do them. And I can't bear to get rid of them, but I don't know why I've kept them in a leather wallet. They don't need to be in a leather wallet, nor do I need a leather wallet. And then there was a whole load of loose page protectors for scrapbooking. I don't think I'm going to need all those page protectors because, to be honest, I need a new album, and the album I like to buy comes with page protectors in it. But I'm just putting them all into the one pouch so that they're all together and it's a bit neater and tidier, and that gets rid of those. And that leaves me with a whole box full of random bits and pieces. And that was it for today's little tidy up. Hope you've enjoyed. A much quicker element than the last two videos, but you know, slowly getting there. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye bye.